our check-ins, intentions, and distractions. How are you feeling? What are you grateful for today? Intentions for the call and whether you have any distractions. I'm feeling good. I just have like a bit of a head cold and kind of congested. My throat's a little scratchy, but there's nothing like crazy. I am grateful for tea. And my intentions for this call is just to facilitate and check in on a couple things. I honestly don't think we have a huge amount to talk about today. So hopefully we'll go smooth and quick, and maybe we won't even stay the whole hour. And distractions, not really at the moment. There's will be things later, but yeah, that's it. I will pass it to you, Nicola.
Thanks. Hi everyone. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little sleepy, but ready for the day. And I'm really grateful for today, especially I'm grateful for my morning practice and exercise. That I'm ready to push myself to do workout at least 3 times a week. It feels so good, guys. I can't tell you how much it's like making such a big change to my day after that. And also, thanks. I'm so grateful. Oh my God, I'm also so grateful for this app, Ashley, that you introduced me to, that I can do this breath work. And that's like a game changer. And my intentions for the call are just to sync up, have a nice start to the day with you guys, really. I'm getting ready for my vacation in the next half of this week. So catching up on all the details that are necessary. And no distractions. I'm giving it back to you, Franco.
Thank you, Nicola. I am feeling good today. I also did some exercise, so yeah, it really does change your day. Um, what am I grateful today? I'm grateful for new experiences. I talked with Griff recently, and I've decided that I'm going to Burning Man, and I'm really excited for that. Yeah, and yeah, intentions is just going to be to catch up and stream the call and no distractions. And I'll pass it to Monique.
Hey everybody, I'm happy. I'm feeling happy to be here with you. And also, can you hear me? And also, I'm grateful to have friends like you. And I'm here to listen and sing with you. And I'm distracted, to be honest, a little bit doing the stuff. And that's it. Pass it to Almond.
Thank you, Monique. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling rested. And I'm grateful for being able to rest as well. My intention for the call is kind of give some updates regarding some changes that we did about the next Twitter Spaces, and also some updates and ask you about the next session for the ambassador program, and no distractions. And I'll pass it to Claire.
Thanks, Almond. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling a bit like you, Ashley. I think I'm full of cold. I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself today. But I'm grateful for comfy clothes, a hot shower, hot tea, and family supplying me with said hot tea. Happy to be here with you guys. I've got no specific intention today, but I'm just pottering, doing some work in the background. Just a little bit distracted by that, that's all. And I'm passing back to you, Ashley.
Thank you. All right. Well, if we get into events, I'll go ahead and let you talk, Almond, to the changes that were made and everything, and maybe give some updates about that.
Sure. So as you know, we were talking about this Pambala Twitter space for the 26th, but We have the Gitcoin beta round starting on the 25, and you know that every round for Giveth is very important to push forward and to promote as much as possible. So we move 1 week before the Pambala Twitter space for it to happen tomorrow, 1 hour before Meet the Makers. And next we have Meet the Makers planned as usual. Everything is ready for Meet the Makers, meaning the link. So there will be no problem with that. I think that I will going to be able to be there because the Twitter space is not going to be that long. And yeah, then on the 26th, 1 day after the Gitcoin beta round already started, we are going to have a Twitter space with the projects from the Giveth Galaxy that are part of the beta round for them to promote their grants. And also we're going to have someone from Gitcoin there representing this round. And yeah, that's kind of like the change we did just to fit everything to the next Gitcoin round.
All right, that makes sense. I'm curious, do we need to do it? I think it would be nice because during the Panvola Twitter space, we could promote the Meet the Makers, even though it's in Spanish. It's not super aligned, but it gives us opportunity to at least get it out there and even just talk about Meet the Makers as an event series itself. So let's try to maybe bring it up during the Twitter space just to explain that we have this event.
Sure, I think it makes sense because Cheo from Emprendedao is going to be there. He's a Spanish speaker, so I think that it would be nice also to mention Meet the Makers.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Well, that's looking pretty good for events. I know the People DAO, they're working on the verification, so hopefully soon they'll get verified and we can set up that Twitter space as well, but that will be on their Twitter. And Katabe is not really here to talk about Aprendamos, but maybe he'll jump in by the time we get to that part of the agenda. So let's just move on to Meet the Makers. And do we have updates for do you have any updates for us, Nicola?
I think we just need to like clarify for ourselves who's doing what, just to make sure that people are again gathering questions. And this time is kind of new for me again because I'll be just watching it, I guess. So I'll jump in. Let's say we're meeting at 9:30, and I'll just jump in for the beginning part, and like just to make sure that projects can get familiar with the space. Katabe and Umberto with there are some tiny details that we're just polishing on the script from the project side. That's going to be happening today. Yeah, so basically then I'm gonna just leave the space and leave it to the boys and girls and playing, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch it from one of the platforms. But yeah, we again need to make sure that we are encouraging people, right, to gather questions or ask questions. So please, if you're available, come and ask questions. And yeah.
And also, so I guess if we are in there and we're getting questions from people, who should we be sending the questions to this time? And how should we send it to them? Like if we're on the YouTube or if I'm in the Discord again and people are asking questions in the chat, like what's the best way to send them to the host? I guess it would be Kotabe, right?
Yeah, and last time what we did was, how did you do this, Almond? You were in the space chatting in, like posting the questions in the chat on the StreamYard, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that we can do the same way to the questions, especially through Discord that we gather. We can post it on the chat of StreamYard and then just let the host know. Also, quick note, maybe Nicola, you can make a quick introduction on Discord before we start, or someone before we start the streaming, because last time we just start streaming without really like mentioning anything before we start sharing screen. So maybe someone can make a quick intro before we start sharing screen.
Yeah, I
Should
could
it
do
be in
that.
Spanish? Yeah. Should it be in Spanish? You can do it, Ashley, yeah, if you want. That sounds good. I mean, I guess I'll just jump from the StreamYard and I'll come to the Discord and
Okay. So, I mean, I could do another platform too. Like, so the other thing I'm curious is when we're streaming on Facebook, how does it come up? Are people going to be asking questions on Facebook as well? Do you know, Claire? Do you know what it looked like there last time?
On Facebook, did you say?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, could you say the question again? Something
I
about.
guess I'm just curious if people are going to be trying to interact with people on the Facebook platform. You know, like is it coming up as a Facebook Live video, and will there be people like making comments or asking questions, or like would it be a good idea to have somebody on Facebook interacting?
Yeah, last time I think Franco, the one that I was present at, you were doing it, weren't you? And yeah, exactly that. So the video was playing live, and you could see the questions and the comments coming up underneath.
I just joined with my like Facebook username, and then I was just paying attention to the people there. But I don't think anyone asked anything from Facebook. I think that.
Sorry to interrupt, but all the questions that comes from YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook also shown in StreamYard. So it's really not necessary to have anyone monitoring the channel separately, because
Oh, really?
there's like a separate chat that gathers questions or comments that are posted on the streams.
That's
Oh,
pretty
perfect.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, cool. Well, that's nice to know. And I guess then we would just want to have somebody there, just maybe like, interacting with people or something, or like hype person, like I said. I can do Discord. I can do a different platform if somebody else wants to do Discord, but we should have somebody on each, I think.
Yeah, I can
So
just keep running around.
it's Discord, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or not Twitter?
Is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn.
Usually what I do, I just like join them simultaneously and just mute the ones, like some of them, and just listen to one. And I check like on the different like platforms, but I do not have LinkedIn, and I do not want to get an account for that.
I have a LinkedIn. I can check it out.
Be on
Or if
LinkedIn.
you, Claire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You planning to be around, Claire?
Well, I can be, yeah.
I don't assume. I don't expect much activity coming from LinkedIn. So if you would be joining just for that, maybe it doesn't make sense, and I can check it out from my account.
To you. I'm here. The offer's there if you want it. But if you're happy, go ahead.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah, I guess
Yeah, Franco was asking, does LinkedIn even have like a chat interface where people will be asking questions? Like, how will it come up?
there is a chat, but I don't know how it works for a Giveth account. But there is a chat.
Okay. Well, I guess I can also look in on LinkedIn because I have an admin account there, so I could comment and stuff as Giveth. Do you
Ooh.
think it's a
You,
good idea
you
for us
can
to be commenting as Giveth, or should we be using more of our personal stuff?
I was going to say that you can also reply from StreamYard using the Giveth account. So you can change the platform depending on where do you see the comment, and then answer as Giveth through StreamYard. So if someone just want to be there commenting with their personal accounts just to make the people feel more welcome and arropados, how you call it in Spanish, then that would be nice. But I think that's like really an extra if someone just like have the time and wants to like be there engaging with people, but you
And
can
speak
also
Spanish.
reply and
And
speak
speak
Spanish.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. So
Translators are pretty good though. The translator's pretty good. You can just copy paste. So yeah, I think we'll do our best, but that's so nice to know that people will be able to comment straight from StreamYard. So I guess then the question is, who will be monitoring the StreamYard chat? Will you do that, Almond, or do you think Kotabe will be doing that?
No, I don't think Kotabe. I think that he will be just too busy. I can do it because you need an admin account to do that. So yeah, no worries.
okay. And Almond, you said that you are doing the Panvala Stems Twitter space before, so you can come only to at the top of the hour, or you think you can come earlier?
I think that I might be able to come earlier just to join the StreamYard, maybe not interact while the Twitter space is still happening, but no problem. Everyone can join the studio no matter if I'm there or not. So you can still join. I'll be joining too
Okay.
at 9:30, so no worries. But yeah, no problem. I can answer the comments.
Okie dokie, that sounds great. Well, let's roll another one then.
Okay, well, I'll at least be in Discord to share my screen. And we can all just kind of hop around, I guess, to different accounts if you have them and just interact or whatever. I don't think we necessarily need to assign anybody if that's the case, which is really nice. All right. Logistically, that seems like it feels good. It's nice knowing you guys will be there a little bit early to figure things out and help the project owners get in. It seemed really easy last time, so it shouldn't be too complicated for them.
Yep.
Let's see. And we can all just like jump into Discord and just be there too. That's what Almond's saying. Cool. I think that if you guys have the opportunity to shill it some more today, then that's a really good idea. I'm curious, did we get confirmation? Do we know if the people, I know we made a comment in the Bankless Twitter space chat. Did we send them information to send out? Like maybe we can send them a tweet that they can retweet, or do we know that they did any sort of promotion?
Who? Sorry, Bankless you mentioned?
Yeah, remember you put like a little comment in our DM, our group chat, and Bankless said that they would shill it, and Vlad said he would share it from the Spanish shapeshift.
That we talk about shapeshift. Okay, I'm Bankless. Sorry, I was thinking there are so many Bankless DAOs, and I was
Right.
thinking in the Mexico one, and I was like, what? Yeah, I share with Shapeshift and Bankless Brazil, and they mentioned that they will going to promote it, but let me just make another reminder so they really do it.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure, like, I haven't been paying attention to Twitter or anything. And maybe if we give them something to work with, so it's like, okay, here's our tweet, you can just like copy it or something or retweet it. Maybe just
Exactly.
poke them a little bit and make sure they actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to remind them. Franco, we have a template in Spanish to send out. That would be super helpful. So bad that Kotav is not here, but let me also share the Spanish invitation because I think that especially us will really need to push it forward.
Telegram groups, like random
Yeah, I have.
weird Web3 Telegram groups that are like Spanish speaking or like based from from back in East Barcelona. I could probably like drop something in there. I don't really care if I get banned from those groups. So.
I have some Telegram groups that, like, Barcelona and I know them, so I'll send it over.
Cool. Good. And where will you share that, Almond? Or where will
Aquí, here in the chat, I'm just changing the time because I think it's 7 p.m. I know it's 6 p.m. CET, right, Franco? Sí, it's 6 p.m. CET. Sorry. Ready.
All right. That's not very good. Yeah. Okay, I don't think we need to copy it into the agenda. I was gonna copy it into this. Whatever.
I think it's also in the chat, in our Meeting Maker planning chat, if you need to find it.
Yeah.
All right. And that's good. And then how about subtitles? Did we figure out anything for translations at all?
I had a trouble to hear you. Because wait a minute, what, the translator? No.
Yeah.
I didn't
Nothing.
make any progress there.
Okay. Well, if we do get it, it's nice to have. If not, we will just do it like normal, and we can do it later. But I honestly think that this is something that will be very valuable for us as community. With besides just Meet the Makers, with all the things that we just even facilitating that session in the ambassador program yesterday. It would be so nice to allow everybody to speak their own language and it just be translated to the other languages. So I think
Yeah,
that
I
we can
agree.
do it, and I think it would really like step up our game as community.
Yeah, I agree totally. And yeah, we agreed on this last time. I just really didn't progress with this wordly, and I kind of just gave up on like trying to push it forward with this session with all the other things that I'm doing. So I was just like, let's see what happens with this session. But definitely, I am planning to. I have it on my to-do list to do research and find a tool that would do this for our community and future events.
Okay. Hey, Katabe. We were just planning for the Meet the Makers event tomorrow and
Awesome.
figuring out like which channels it's going to be on. There is a message in the chat here for shilling to more communities today for one last push.
Yay.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add to this? Because we're just about to move on.
No, I'll check this out, and I'm just sorry that I come late, but I've been having some internet issues in this morning. But happy to be here, and I will catch up with this message and with the agenda.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
glad to see you here. I just want to move on to the other things.
Yeah,
And
for
I
sure.
think you're pretty much in the loop with most of the things.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Let's move on. Ambassador program. I feel like the last session went okay. I don't know. What do you think, Almond?
I knew that you were going to feel like it, but I wanted just to mention that for me, I really appreciate that you step in and explain this step by step. And I think that it came really well, honestly, because for me it has a lot of value to be able to do these like two languages to reach out to more people in the future at least. So yeah, I was going to mention that for me it went great. I know that sometimes and I know it because I've talked with other people before, maybe like not speaking Spanish could make you feel like, oh no, like that's not cool. But really I want to say that for the English speakers that are here and want to join the ambassador program Monday, would be great. We're doing this exercise to be bilingual, because I noticed that Danny Bell jumped in and then she was like, okay, out, you know, and I don't want this to become like, oh no, this is like the Spanish speakers moment, so I'm just going to like remove myself from the equation. I would really appreciate to have the team there and to keep doing as much as possible this bilingual effort, because for me it's really valuable to have you here and not become the Spanish speakers program or something, you know.
Yeah. I'm glad that you see it that way, because I was definitely feeling like if I had been more fluent in Spanish, we would have gotten a chance to do praise, you know? But I understand what you're saying, and I also think it's valuable. I understand much more than I speak, so like when other people are talking, I can understand what they're saying. It's just harder for me to it's hard enough for me to gather all my thoughts in English, let alone to like express them in Spanish, but maybe I'll get better, and maybe one of these times I'll be able to do something like this in Spanish. Um, the other question I had is like, as far as I know that I got some good feedback from them, you know, like transferring the project, we should have documentation about this. There was some other things that came up that I think are really valuable that we should figure out how we can implement into our normal routines and things like this. And so I'm curious, like, as far as having a retrospective session, what would be like a good frequency for something like that? I don't think we should have one for every session that we do, but maybe we shouldn't wait until the end of the season, you know?
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same yesterday, that for me, we're getting really good value from people that's outside of us, the contributors. That's yeah, for me it's super cool to have those fresh eyes, those fresh minds. So I would love to have once in a while a feedback session for us, the Giveth contributors, to gather and mention our learnings, our thoughts, insights, maybe next steps. When do you think that it would be good to have? I know that Franco is not going to be here next week, but you're not going to be here all next week, right? Right, Franco?
I'll maybe like be able to make it to some calls, but I don't want to commit to any calls. I'll be working like whenever I have the time, like grab the computer, but I'm taking the week off calls. Yeah, sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Maybe it could be something around the end of this week or something around the beginning of May.
Yeah. Maybe we do it like try to do it kind of like halfway between, so it'd be like a mid-season retrospective. I'm curious, at least we could maybe have a place where we can put the stuff that we have found, because like for instance this documentation about how to transfer projects, I want to make an issue about that and just like get working on it, you know. But we could keep like a document somewhere where it's like, okay, this came up, like it will be kind of like a running agenda, and then we do have the retrospective, we have the topics that we want to talk about, or like some of the valuable things that we gathered. What do
Oh,
you think?
cool. Yeah, I think that will work for us to keep everything written down. Sure, we can just create a very simple Notion in there for us to write down everything. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that people were asking about the verification process. So I was wondering if both Nicola and you, Ash, could jump in next week to explain. Not it does not need to be like very deep level or anything, but like to share with them the verification process and the importance of the verification process, because at the beginning of the sessions we really didn't wrote down the verification process, but I think that's really valuable to have it there. So what do you think?
Yeah, I can help out with that. I think it's kind of the perfect place to pick up from that because they just created projects on staging so they can easily, now they have a project that they could start to run through the application process with. I don't know I don't know if we necessarily need them all to fill out the application, but at least, they could poke around in there and start if they want. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we should have them all fill out an application?
What do you think, Nicola? Do you think that's like a valuable exercise?
I think it's if they are planning to apply. I mean, it's always good. I think it's actually good because if we tell them, hey, do your best filling this application with all the details that you can provide, and let them really actually spend the time, because sometimes people just fill it in and they put whatever in there, and I didn't really spend too much time. But if we like put actually enough stress on the importance of, hey, if you fill this up well and give us enough resources to review and really like evaluate that your project is a public good and you have a reputation and you put all this evidence, oftentimes people don't put evidence and we're like, well, there's no evidence of your work, so we can't really verify that, so these type of things happen. And I think, for us as a verification team, then we can go into admin bro, and whether it's just for the sake of practice that we reject the application, we can still do it, but for the sake of practice, I don't know if you want to do it like through the staging, but or do it on a production, but we can definitely manage that part. I just won't be around until like I'm taking off from this Thursday till I'll be back on a Wednesday, so I won't be around for the next session. So that's like, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, no worries. I can help out with it, and if you think it's valuable, we can run through the application process. Um, the thing is like they're gonna need to verify their email, and they're gonna need to do some of these things that I'm not sure how buggy the process is on staging. I know like it works fine on production, but I haven't done it on staging, so I'll just run through it just to make sure that I don't run into any weird things that'll be really awkward.
Even
in
if we
trying.
did it, I think even if we did it on production, so it's all like live and sharp, I think it's all good
They
because
already have
you and
projects
I.
on staging, that's the thing. Like, if we did
Oh,
it on production, then they would have to create another project, and
on,
then to figure out how to unlist it or deactivate it or something and hide it,
okay, right.
essentially, because it's just for practice.
Mm-hmm.
But they all have projects on staging already, so I think that we can just pick up there, and I'll just kind of like do it like I did the workshop during the AMA, where I, explain each step and like why it's important and what's important of putting in that information. I don't know that you, because a lot of times, so I'm just wondering, how much value does it bring to the ambassadors? They will be onboarding some projects, right? But will they be like walking them through all the steps, or they'll just,
They
so I'm
might.
curious. Yeah.
If they will actually, because then they will be point of the contact for questions. And so if people have questions filling in the form, I think the best what I would suggest is do this online practice with them, and like instead of actually showing them how to fill it in, let them do it and ask the question as they do it. So it's like this online hack session together. And so whatever questions that they have, they coming up, they can ask live during the sessions and they can be answered. And I think if they have this personal experience and practice trying this whole thing do it themselves, then they can be actually on a better advice of to the other projects that they will be onboarding. So yeah, and it will also help them to understand the distinguish, what's like which project can really get verified and why. So, and which projects that can get verified, like student raising funds for equipment for their studies, it's probably not going to get verified because it's not public goods. So touching this aspect might be actually beneficial. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could be there hacking on
Would be
that.
like a good flow then, like as we're just sitting there in quiet as they're filling out the application, or
You can play music and say you got 10 minutes or 15 minutes to fill it in, and let's just address any questions or like go through this together. I don't know. What do you think? Other people have ideas, Franco?
I think that it'd be interesting because like I'm checking on the documentation and we actually have like the one for verification, like the I don't know what's like I'm reading in Spanish now, but procesos y pautas de la verificación de proyectos, and it's kind of like you can give them like kind of like homework, you know, like read this and we're gonna talk about verification, like let us know if we have any like if you have any questions or whatever, and like also like it'd be awesome to get their feedback on like if the documentation is clear, and I don't know, like that's like just know that you have the material and it'd be interesting if they can like read it ahead of time. So
Yeah, I did share with them the video from the, the project verification video from the YouTube, but maybe also the documentation. So I guess that was the other thing. We didn't really give any homework last session.
You're right. We run out of time. But I think that's a great idea, Franco, just like to share beforehand so they come a little bit more prepared. I think that we can have a hacking session of like 10 minutes. I think that's a good idea. We can use Fredbot and I can make a nice playlist with MGMT and cool music. So it does not feel like really weird. And yeah, also
You have the playlist going and you're like, okay, what's my track list?
something to cheer up. And also I think that's cool because I don't want the team to burn out explaining step by step. I would love for these sessions to be as light as possible, as fluid as possible. So I like them having a hacking session, and I'll share today with them the resources so they can check them out beforehand.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And then after they get done, we can answer questions, and then I can kind of give an overview of like the qualifying measures and like what will qualify you and what will disqualify you, and just get a little bit more clear on the types of projects that will get verified versus the ones that will get rejected.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Great to
Okay.
have all your perspectives. And all just to end this, I was talking with Anna from Urbanica and Rifaidao. She was saying that because she knows about the program, she was proposing something that I thought it was a cool idea, maybe to have a project that has experience with Giveth being featured in one session, for them to share their experience, to share tips and tricks. I think that's like a really good idea to have them as guests of one of the sessions.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that would be good for this session? Do you think we're going to take the whole hour on verification, or I don't know, that's
No,
the hard last time
I
I
w-
created is, but it took a while.
No, I will leave this for another session, not this one. I will separate the sessions.
Okay. Did you have something, Giant Ken?
I do. I have Alman on a shared sheet with the invite link. It's still talking about the ambassador program, right?
Yes.
It sounds like verification for a minute there. And I started entering the data of how many invites that people have done. If I don't know if that helps or not, but I just started doing it. I put a date when I update it. So far, one of them's doing it, and I put it in the wrong person. But I don't know how y'all going to use that, or if is what I'm basically asking.
Oh wow, that's great. Thank you, Giant Kin.
That's at current numbers. One did 12 invites, and the other one did 4, and the other one did 1. But the other ones haven't done any. So
What? Who did 12 invites?
Rohek.
Rohe.
Does it show whether how many people joined using that link?
That's how many people showed up using that link.
Oh,
12.
That does not show that they actually got in or anything yet. I am working on 2 other tools that might show more. Right now I have it's like a leaderboard type of thing, but I'm still playing with that. I was double checking the address for the 12 here. VXA.
Yeah, that's cool. I know Rohek, because people down, they have a pretty big following. So I mean, that makes sense. They have a lot of people on their Discord and they have a lot of people on their Twitter.
Right the first time. It's not Rohak. It's the person below them. I'm not wearing my
Oh,
glasses.
it's Sohovit. Sohovit did 12 invitations.
Yeah,
What?
because it's
Cool.
the last
That's
3 is
awesome.
VXA. Yeah, that's it. So in the bottom somewhere, I'm testing. Where the heck is it? So many different things I'm testing.
Wow. That's so cool. 12 invitations. I can't believe it. Okay. Thank you so much, Giant King. I think that it would be cool to do these maybe twice a month. I think it's like a good cadence at maybe at half of the month and then maybe at the beginning of next month. What do you think? Because I don't want you to spend too much time on these, to be honest, especially because we are just starting and we are in the education and kind of like onboarding process. So maybe these will not be as active as more towards the half or the end of this 3 months. So I think that if you can help us doing this twice a month would be perfect, would be more than enough.
Okay, cool. I don't see the link for the document, but you have it, Almond?
Sure, sorry, I was going to send these to you and then I got distracted. Let me share you.
It seems like the 2 bots that I'm trying, either one is showing anybody but me.
Here.
Oh, shoot, I know why. Because it's my links. Duh. Okay, never mind.
That linked here. Well, that's cool. Thank you, Giantkin.
Yeah,
All right, well, I'm feeling pretty good. We can talk, I guess, a little bit more about maybe a script or some bullet points again on our sync tomorrow, Almond.
Oh, I was unmuted. Can you repeat that, please?
Just, just to kind of run through like what the flow will look like. We can like think more about that in our call tomorrow.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, of course. And I can help prepare the document for the session and everything for you to be ready.
Okay. Katabe, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, since we kind of like didn't have enough time last session for the homework, I was thinking that maybe on the messaging or in the groups that we have with them, Telegram, I think it was the chosen one for most communication. We can share something of the leaderboard, and also they like if any of them wants to, like we can say that we're going to talk about the verification process on the next session, but if they want to start verificating their project, so that they come more prepared for the session and maybe they already have some questions, they can also do it on their own time and then come prepared. I don't know, what are your thoughts about that?
I think that that's a good idea. I think we kind of talked about sharing the documentation and everything so that they understand. The one thing that I think would be kind of a bad experience is if you took the initiative to do everything beforehand and then you're just kind of sitting there waiting for everybody to do the things that you did beforehand, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like what was the point of me doing it before I came if I'm just waiting for everybody else to complete it while I'm here?
That is true.
But I think at least having the information about like how the verification process works, what to expect, sharing that YouTube video, having them watch that, and maybe, at least then they'll come mentally prepared for the steps that they'll take. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good. I know, I'm just thinking about my when I did my master's. I think a very different experience from my previous education and my master's, and what I really like is that in many of the classes you had to read and to come prepared, and more the time in the class was about asking questions about what you already have done rather than doing things in the class. Uh, So I don't know. That's just kind of like, I don't know the best way to structure that, and I do think that if some people do it on their like a homework and some people don't, then the people that do it as homework, they're going to feel like distracted or bored. Mm, but yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to say that.
So I
I
think it's
think that
go ahead, Paul.
sorry, I was thinking maybe just to dedicate 5 minutes, not a lot of time to do this would be, I don't know, I just don't want to like super feel them pressured about like homework and reading and completing things. I would love this to feel more like you come and learn in the sessions and then you're kind of like free and not really have like, let's say, a lot of things during the week, just for the program to feel as light and not very like heavy weight. Because I don't know, I think that when you in your brain start like thinking about having to do too many things, you might start feeling like overwhelm and pressure, and maybe that will scare some of them. So maybe I think that to these to feel as light as possible would be better.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing that it might be beneficial if we like if they can actually in their own personal time spend more time thinking of like which project they would onboard or like how would instead of like actually doing the homework, and it will be fun for them to get together like this and hack on the session. They can ask these questions together. They can feel supported during the time as they do it. So that's a good. And if somebody is super proactive, like nobody said you can go ahead and try it yourself beforehand. I mean, you can do it if you want, but the session is the session that will be dedicated to it, and then it might create actually more ease what Almond is hoping for, and then they might spend more time actually working on onboarding projects and actually like doing the ambassador work. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I think for the people who didn't make it to the last session, it's like they're going to have some catch up work to do, right? Because they don't have projects yet. So maybe instead of homework in advance for this session, it's like, okay, if you didn't have a chance to come to the last session, this is what you need to do to be caught up with everybody else. So it's like the people who were there and showed up, they're on track, they're ready, they have, they're prepared, but the people who weren't there need to like do some stuff to catch up to be on the same page.
Yeah, it sounds fair.
So I'm just going to make a note to encourage those who weren't there. Is there anything else we should talk about around the ambassador program?
I feel complete.
Same.
I'm not sure who added this to the agenda, getting feedback on UX.
I did. So basically, this was initially for the flea when we thought that we were going to have a workshop, and Mo crafted this link where people can go through the UX, especially on the phone. This is optimized for phone. It takes a little bit to load. Oh, there it is. But basically, it is a flow. It helps especially people that are not from Web3 to understand what's the flow for Giveth. And the reason why it got created was mainly to gather some feedback. And so it just takes you very, like, it handholds you through the process of a few things. The first one is connecting the wallet. And then so you have to kind of like click on there, sign in. Second one is making a donation.
So when I'm trying to click this, it's not working. Should it not? Does that mean it's not clickable?
You already clicked on get started, right?
No, I
It
mean it
should be
did.
clickable. Or maybe close the
Close
kind of
what?
like the shade. Click on the X button
Yeah, I'm
before
clicking on
clicking
a lot of
tiny.
things, and it won't do nothing. It's not doing anything.
Weird. It's been working fine. But it is optimized for phone. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But yeah, it will be great to start collecting some feedback. We are paying a service for this. It was going to be for the flea and for all of these, but it's really good for getting some feedback. Mo set it up, and I think it will be good to promote it, especially for people that are not familiar with Giveth. Maybe as a first interaction, sometimes it can be also a tool for the ambassador programs to people where when they are not so familiar to start understanding where to do the first three actions, right? Sign up with a wallet or connect your wallet, make a donation, and create a project or something like that. I think right now it's only create a wallet and make a donation, the flows that are already working.
Okay.
And I think it will be good to kind of like make a push to get as much feedback as possible on the UX, and then to sit back and think if we want to keep having this service right now or if we prefer to stop paying for it, basically.
Okay. And where's the best place for people to leave feedback?
So in the same flow, you get a question, and we can be more specific about the question. It wouldn't take Mo too much time, but we can, like right now the question is in the flow. After you
Right.
finish each,
Like if I wanted to leave feedback about the UX of this maze thing.
yeah, it's actually asking you. So after you made the connect your wallet, it was like, well, what do you think that was the experience for you with this? And we can ask another.
But I would
Sorry.
like to maybe make a screenshot and say like here for instance on the screen, can you see like thank you, you completed our maze. Like so
Uh-huh.
I think that that's really misleading because it's not really complete, right? So like you want them to also donate, you want them to try to do other things, so it's not like actually complete.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to
Cool.
this screen and they'll think that they're done. So how do I like leave that kind of like can we create issues in GitHub?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can tag Mo, which is the one that knows how to handle it.
I'm curious when does the prescription or the paid version of this service, when does it expire? How much time do we have maybe to test it before?
I don't have the exact answer. So far, we're billed. I am billed monthly. I think it's around this date. And so I think that like initially on the forum, what we said is let's try it for 3 months, and see what's the feeling of it, if we want to keep it or not.
So when does that 3 months end?
Let me check.
And also, what is the best repo for us to put issues in for this? The V2 repo?
I think so. And I will say tag Mo, not Monique. Mo is the one that is setting this up.
The designer.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so maybe to design actually working group.
Does design have their own repo?
I'm not sure.
I don't
Think so.
No.
Mm,
So V2 and Tagmo.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, if you just want to add the date in here of how long we have to do this, that would definitely
Yeah.
be helpful, just so we could know how much time we have left to
I
try
will.
to go. Okay, we have 1 minute left. We've got Aprendamos. There's not much for the GPS thing right now after the last session. Moving forward, I think most of us were there. Project survey results. What should we use this? I mean, do we have anything else that we should talk about before the top of the hour? Anything else that's really important? Okay. As far as I know, like most of these other things don't really have much motion on them at the moment. So,
Yeah, I
do
think
you
so
have
too.
anything for conflict resolution, Nicola, or we're pretty good there?
We're pretty good there. I'm incorporating some really, really great feedback and have some cool ideas and plans, but I do want to definitely want to do essentials almond FIY right when I'm back from the vacay. I'm going to start pushing for some essentials and planning for a group practice session, something more like a random thing and these types of things. So yes, but I need some time off first.
Okay. Yeah, totally. All right. Well, let's make sure we put in a good amount of effort today to shill Meet the Makers tomorrow. So if you've got Telegram groups or anything that you can shill to, there's a message here in the chat. Just copy paste and let's get as many people as we can get in our event tomorrow. And we
Yeah.
sync up a little bit early before the event and make sure everybody's on the same page. So good to see you guys today. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you in
Yeah.
call.
Hugs.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.